Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. In this video, we will take a look at sub-items and talk about what they are, including the latest we saw from Inside Star Citizen. As always, a massive thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. If you would like to support my channel further, guys, follow the link to my Patreon page or hit that join button here on my YouTube channel to learn more. So the latest footage we got during Inside Star Citizen highlighted the work being done on creating and implementing sub-items into the game. Now CIG did mention that these items won't hold any gameplay yet, but sub-items are basically small devices which slot into normal components like power plants, adding certain buffs and abilities to that component. For example, maybe damage reduction from energy weapons or improved cooling performance. What we saw was a few sub-items housed within a couple of power plants. For small power plants, it looks like they can hold up to 2 sub-items, and for medium power plants holding maybe up to 3 sub-items. We also saw how these sub-items will be accessed via an arm which extends to allow the user to remove and replace them, and we also got to see what sounds like the first wave of sub-items lined up. I think there were 52 of them here, side by side, showing the 100% condition versus the 0% condition for each item. Basically, as the sub-item becomes used, it'll visually transition from 100% to 0% condition, allowing the user to visibly see it degrading over time. This means that when you come to replace a sub-item, you can see what condition it's in and determine whether it needs replacing or not. So as mentioned before, sub-items provide a boost to the base effectiveness of components in a variety of ways. Now these sub-items will wear much quicker than the host item and are seen more as consumable parts likely unable to be repaired. Without sub-items, the component will still function as normal to its default base stats, but obviously perform better with sub-items attached. It is advised, they say, that players carry spare sub-items to be swapped out on longer duration trips if the player wants to maintain the utmost performance from a component, so ensuring that you have a steady supply of sub-items is going to be an important factor, which is one of the reasons why CIG are making sure that ships have small holding areas to keep such items. Now there are 3 categories to sub-items. You have efficiency, which improves the overall effectiveness of the main component by reducing power or improving the cooling performance. There's protection, which reduces the damage being dealt to the main item by absorbing different damage types or reducing the wear rate and misfire chances. And then detection, which inhibits emissions in various spectrums from the main component to provide resistance to scanning. In the image here, you can see how each type can affect the component. I'm sure there'll probably be other areas as time goes on, but they're the main categories at the moment. Now, although they did mention that this doesn't mean the gameplay associated with sub-items is being implemented yet, it does mean that when the time comes, they will be ready to begin getting that sorted. It will be interesting to see how quickly these sub-items and components degrade. Obviously, we don't want to need to swap them out every 2 minutes, but ensuring the balance is right to make it engaging and entertaining for those looking to play the engineering career is going to be quite a difficult balance. For the first implementation, I would expect it to be a little off what CIG are intending, with maybe items degrading too fast or not quick enough, and the same goes for the performance buffs and whatnot. I'm sure over time they will get them to where they need to be. The engineer, I think, will have a lot to do on board a ship. For smaller ships, it may be a single engineer just monitoring each component and its sub-components, ensuring that all are running well. On larger ships, having a couple of engineers, maybe a chief engineer and assistant engineers, travelling through the ships, maintaining, monitoring and replacing any items as required. This role is going to be very hands-on, and I'm really looking forward to the depth at which it can go, learning about components, repair, and keeping the ship running at its highest potential. A chief engineer in my org will need to have a full understanding of all components and sub-items, knowing exactly what each one does and how to get the most out of it. And also, if we're planning on a mission or a job somewhere for whatever reason, that could be a long distance thing, they will need to ensure that we have a good supply of spare components and sub-items so we don't run dry. I am very excited for the engineering gameplay. It'll make each ship even more unique when players begin to delve into component upgrading and overclocking, not to mention making the ships feel more like they belong to you. The gameplay will also really encourage players to earn the credits to upgrade their ships, which is good news. If you would like to learn more regarding components and sub-items, I have provided a shipyard post from CIG which shows their intentions for this type of gameplay. It's definitely worth a read for any budding engineer out there. But with that said, do let me know what you think. Is this something you're excited for, or is it just going to be a big pain in the ass for you having to constantly monitor your systems and whatnot? As mentioned before, if you do enjoy my videos and would like to support my channel further, be sure to check the link to my Patreon page in the description, or hit that new join button here on YouTube. It is all very much appreciated and really helps me to get videos like this done. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Star Citizen content. Also, follow the link to my Tumbril Ranger 3-pack giveaway, which is still going on over on Gleam. Hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.